Thank you very much, Marco.
Go ahead, please.
Hello, everyone. So I have to be very careful what I say. I'm walking a tightrope here. I have customers, investors, and competitors in the audience. So yes, I'm the first person from the travel vertical to talk, so I'll tell you about all the good news. Our business powers, we're a fully B2B business, and we provide ancillary revenue to our customers that are primarily airlines and big online travel agencies. So as you can see there, that 45%, for 45% of flights sold online intra-Europe, our system exclusively powers car hire and ground transport for those companies. So we see a huge amount of traffic come through our system, and we power now actually nearly 100 airlines internationally, all over the world, Australia, as far as Hawaii, all the way over to China. Our business is 11 years old, and we started off only doing car hire. So you can see on the left is the typical car hire companies that you all know. On the right are our distribution channels. We're a marketplace, and in the middle is our technology. We don't operate a B2C business of any scale. We are like the arms dealer of ancillary revenue in the travel industry. It's a terrific business. We now have about 850 million airline passengers that book online that we display product to. We use a lot of science and we use a lot of technology to choose the optimal product, to price that product, which we acquire on a net rate basis with the suppliers on the left. So as I said, we're 11 years old. Over that 11 years, we've built a very big distribution base there on the right-hand side. And as we do that, we understand that car hire, as we started off, is not the perfect product in all cases. People don't rent a car when they fly into London City Airport. They don't rent a car when they fly into Heathrow or New York City, yet half of our 850 million passengers fly into those airports. So in 2003, we acquired a company called Cabforce in Finland, in Helsinki, and that added a product called ground transfer. That's the guy in the black suit with your name on a board, and we now offer that product to all of those customers. So what we saw when we did that is that we not only increased the conversion or the attach rate of the base car hire product with the flight sale, we also we sold more ancillary revenue in all because we were selling more product, but the halo effect of having more than one mode of transport on the base product increased the base product conversion. So in other words, car hire conversion increased by nearly 18% when we added the other forms of transport to it. So the mode that we're in at the moment, we're high growth. We have a huge distribution on one side. As I said, we have a huge supply on the other side. We have every single car rental company in the world in our system. We're now growing organically, and we've grown for those 11 years. And this year we've grown over 30% again. We'll sell about 30 million car rental days this year. So our scale is quite large. We're 500 people in Dublin, of which about 100 of them are engineers in the engineering team. And the mode that we're in now is we're continuing our organic growth, but we're also diversifying. So as you see, we've added private transfers, and now we've also added hotels. So if you're a flight passenger booking on any one of our airline partners, and we would include, Emirates, Ryanair, KLM, a lot of very big brand names on there, we can offer every product that's non-air related, and we intend to offer every product that's non-air related. In addition, our code and our SDK is built into the airline's own apps. And if you think about the way the travel industry is going, and the title of this presentation is supposed to be, "Where will I be in 5 years' time?" That's our growth graph for since we founded the company 11 years ago, and I'm one of the original guys. It's 35% CAGR. And it continues. That's a big monster to feed. If anyone remembers the Cookie Monster in Sesame Street, it's very difficult to keep the monster fed. So the way we do that is we enter every year with a cohort of business that fuels our growth. We grow on the existing passenger growth of our airline customers, and then we add new business. And then the third prong to that growth is we add additional product. So when we add private transfers, we add that to our entire base business. So if we add 20 or 30% revenue to the revenue per passenger, that's 20 or 30% to our entire top line growth. So it's a very attractive business. It remains a very attractive business. And as we look forward, we have two options for that. One is we grow organically, and that will give us probably 30+% growth for at least a few to 5 more years. And then we can also diversify and add new product to fuel our distribution that we already have. Our biggest challenge, this is the Dublin skyline, basically. That's the view from out of our offices. And it took us about a month to find a picture where the sky was blue. It was a pretty bad looking business, you know, for the last few weeks otherwise. For us, growth is easy. We have a very straightforward organic path to growth with options to grow inorganically. But right now we're on an organic growth path and a very, very, I would say, straightforward execution plan with a very well ring-fenced and defensible business. For the entire travel industry, however, including the partners that we power, not necessarily ourselves, Google is the biggest threat. And Google's current mode of operation is with a 10-year plan at least to capture the top of the flight or the travel planning funnel. And as Google captured the top of the flight travel funnel, companies like Expedia, like Priceline, like Hotels.com, all of them will compete with Google to own the customer. And Google, being a monopoly, can obviously extend the advantage that they have in search to have an advantage over every travel company that owns the customer. So the challenge for our business is actually to power our partners with the right technology, AI-based bot technology, chat technology, to enable all the distribution channels for our customers that let them basically compete to keep their customers against the value add that Google can provide. Google have more insight into the customer in terms of the data and the tracking that they have across multiple devices. But to date, they haven't been very good, ironically, at producing product that's relevant to the travel industry. So our next 5 years is about aggressively slapping the arse of the galloping horse that we're on, and also diversifying and protecting ourselves against the longer-term threat from Google, essentially. Thank you very much.